Hello guys, welcome back to a new video, and in this video I'm going to cover the first 10 perfect squares and square roots. We will start by taking a look at the first 5 and then moving to the 6th through 10th. Now remember, squaring a number means to multiply the number by itself. So, and square root in wait. Yeah, and when it comes to square roots are the opposite or the inverse of squaring a number. So we need to think what number multiplied by itself will equal the number under the root symbol. So let's jump into the first 5 perfect squares and square roots, starting with number 1, where we have 1 squared. So the little 2 to the top right of the number means we are squaring the number. So that means we have to multiply the number by itself. Let's say instead of 2, it said 5. Now we don't call it square anymore, we call it an exponent of 5. Now if it said 5, we have to multiply the number by itself 5 times. But in this video we're going to talk about squares in the first 10 perfect squares and square roots. So for the first one, we have 1 squared, where we do 1 times 1. This will equal 1, of course. So 1 squared will equal 1. And for the square root of 1, now, as I said, we need to think what times itself will equal 1. So, and that's, of course, 1. So the square root of 1 will also be 1. Now, let's go over to the second one. We have a 2 squared. So this means, again, we have to multiply the 2 by itself, like this, 2 times 2. This equals 4. So 2 squared equals 4. And for the square root of 2, we will get, oh, my bad guys, for the square root of 4, because the square of 2 equals 4. And for the square root of 4, we will get 2, because what number times itself will equal 4, and that is 2, because 2 times 2 equals 4. And as I said, square roots are basically the opposite or the inverse of squaring a number. So let's go over to the third one, where we have 3 squared. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. We are squaring the 3. We are going to do 3 times 3, which equals 9. Now, for the square root of 9, we need to think again what number times itself equals 9. And we just calculated it was 3. So, on to the fourth example. We have 4 squared. 4 squared is exactly the same thing. We're going to do 4 times 4. This equals 16. Now, for the square root of 16, we of course will get 4, because 4 times 4 equals 16. So, on to the last one of the 5, we have 5 squared. 5 squared, again, is 5 times 5. This will equal 25. Now, the square root of 25 will be 5, because we know that 5 times 5 equals 25. So, I know all of these by head, and I think it's very, very handy and very useful to know the first 10 perfect squares and square roots um, by your head without calculating them. So then you don't have to do this whole process every time, but if you just learn them and put them straight into your brain, you will never forget them again, just like me, and you will have a much easier time figuring the squares and the perfect square roots out. So now onto the last 5. So I'm gonna do the last 5 for you guys and I will be right back. So now we're going to go over the last 5. So we have 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 6, 7, 8. So let's start with 6 squared. Now again, it doesn't mean how big the number is. It doesn't change what the square does. So we have a 6 and we need to times it by itself, of course. So we get 36. So this will be our square for 6. Now for the square root of 36, again we need to think what number times itself will equal 36. And that number is 6. So now we're done with the first one. We're going to go over the second one. So we have 7 squared. Again, we need to multiply the 7 by itself like this, and we will get 49. 49. This will be our square of 7. Now for the square root of 49, we will get 7. Again, because 7 times 7 or 7 multiplied by itself will equal 49. Now on to the third one. We have 8 squared. Now 8 squared again is just 8 multiplied by itself and we will get 64. Now again, for the square root of 64, we think what number multiplied by itself will equal 64, and that number will be 8. As we saw here, 8 times 8 equals 64. So on to the fourth one, we have 9 squared. Again, we just do 9 times 9, and this will equal 81. Oh, my bad, guys. This will equal 81. Now again, for the square root of 81, we will have 9, because over here we saw 9 times 9 equals 81. And now for the last one of the 10 perfect squares, of the first 10 perfect squares, we have 10 squared. This one is very easy. It's just 10 multiplied by itself, which equals 100. And now for the square root of 100, we will have 10, because 10 times 10 equals 100. I find this one very satisfying, because you just get a very nice round number at the end, and I find it very easy to remember. So this was basically the video, guys, on perfect squares and square roots of the first 10. I also did a video on perfect cubes and cube roots. If you like this video, go watch that other video. And if you like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. This was Mr. Mathz, and I will see you guys in the next video.